In previous class, we have studied mechanism of translation and 4 steps of mechanism of translation. They are activation of amino acids, activation of amino acids, or charging of amino acids, charging of amino acids, chain initiation, chain initiation. Third one is chain elongation, and last one is chain termination. Chain termination are the 4 steps of mechanism of translation. Among them, the first 2 steps we have discussed in previous class, but in this class I can repeat the first and second steps also. In the activation of amino acids or charging of amino acids, during protein synthesis, each and every amino acid must be activated. Why? Every amino acid must be activated during protein synthesis means the tRNA, transfer RNA, only carrying, only picking activated amino acids. We remember, the transfer RNA only carries picking activated amino acid, otherwise no protein synthesis. That's why before protein synthesis, each and every amino acid must be activated. One more question, reasonable question. Why the amino acids activated before protein synthesis? Because the tRNA carries transfer only activated amino acid. But how? The activation of amino acids takes place before protein synthesis. That is, during translation or during activation of amino acids, the amino acid reacts with ATP, adenosine triphosphate, in presence of amino acid synthetase. See, during activation of amino acids, each and every amino acid reacts with the energy molecule ATP in presence of amino acid synthetase to form amino acid AMP, amino acid AMP enzyme complex, amino acid adenylate AMP enzyme complex. It is also called activated amino acid. Most important and also difficult explanation. Be concentrated here. Amino acid reacts with ATP in presence of amino acid synthetase enzyme to form amino acid adenylate AMP complex, AMP enzyme complex, or it is also called activated amino acid. Now, activated amino acid are amino acid adenylate AMP enzyme complex. Enzyme complex, we remember, binds to, attached to amino acid binding site of tRNA, because tRNA contain 4 regions, 4 parts. 3' end is the amino acid binding site. We have already discussed in clover leaf model of tRNA proposed by Robert Howley. So, the 3' end of tRNA is the amino acid binding site or adapter site. This site only binds to activated amino acid. So, here the amino acid AMP enzyme complex or activated amino acid binds to attached to the amino acid binding site of tRNA. That is the 3' end of the tRNA. To form amino acid tRNA complex or charged tRNA or loaded tRNA, and at the same time important AMP adenosine monophosphate and enzyme separated from the amino acid from the enzyme complex. Do you remember? The activated amino acid or amino acid adenylate AMP enzyme complex binds to the amino acid binding site of tRNA, 3' end of tRNA to form amino acid tRNA complex or charged tRNA or loaded tRNA. One more question now. What is charged tRNA or what is loaded tRNA? Means the tRNA binds to activated amino acid is called charged tRNA or loaded tRNA, and at the same time adenosine monophosphate AMP and enzyme separated from the amino acid, activated amino acid. Now this activated amino acid carried by tRNA enters into the ribosome and starts the formation of polypeptide chain, initiates the formation of polypeptide chain. That is the second step called chain initiation. So you must remember this point. During activation of amino acid, each and every amino acid reacts with ATP, adenosine triphosphate, in presence of amino acid synthetase enzyme. Amino acid synthetase enzyme to form amino acid AMP enzyme complex or activated amino acid, and this activated amino acid binds to the activating or 3' end of tRNA amino acid binding site of tRNA to form unloaded tRNA, and at the same time AMP enzyme separated from the activated amino acid. Now this loaded tRNA binds to attach to the mRNA and initiates the formation of polypeptide chain. That is the second step called chain initiation. Say, in this step, in chain initiation step, soon after transcription, mRNA, for example, this is a typical cell, and in this typical cell, this is the nucleus. So after transcription of mRNA, synthesis of mRNA from the antisense strand of DNA, mRNA moves from nucleus to cytoplasm and attached to binds to smaller subunit of ribosome. We remember, after transcription, after formation of mRNA, it will move from nucleus to the cytoplasm through nuclear core and binds to attach to the smaller subunit of ribosome. This is because, we remember, in the ribosome, the two subunits are there. That is smaller subunit or larger subunit. Yeah, the smaller and larger subunit of ribosomes, so before protein synthesis, they are freely suspended in the cytoplasm. We remember, the smaller subunit, larger subunit separated to each other, freely suspended in the cytoplasm. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಸಬ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಸಬ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಫ್ರೀ ಆಗಿ ಮೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಸೈಕ್ಲೋಸಿಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಸೆಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಸಿಂಥಿಸಿಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುವಾಗ ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಸಬ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಸಬ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ mRNA ಗೆ ಬೈಂಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಇನಿಷಿಯೇಟರ್ ಕೋಡಾನ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಸಿಂಥಿಸಿಸ್, before formation of a polypeptide chain, the smaller subunit and larger subunit freely suspended in the cytoplasm of cell. That's why after transcription of mRNA from the template strand of DNA, it will move from nucleus to cytoplasm and binds to the smaller subunit, and starts the formation of polypeptide chain. Initiates the formation of polypeptide chain. Important? Yeah, the initiation of polypeptide chain takes place by initiator codon AUG. Listen here. In this diagram, this is mRNA, 5' chain and 3' end of mRNA. In this mRNA, already the mRNA binds to the smaller subunit, that is 40S in the eukaryotic cell and 30S in the prokaryotic cell. Listen here. After transcription of mRNA moves from nucleus to cytoplasm and binds to the smaller subunit of ribosome. Now this is smaller subunit of ribosome and begins the chain initiation, formation of polypeptide chain. See, here the chain initiation takes place by an initiator codon AUG. See, this AUG codon codes the methionine amino acid. Out of 20 amino acids, so methionine amino acid is one. It is initiated by, coded by AUG codon, AUG initiator codon. So, chain initiation begins with the help of initiator codon AUG. It codes methionine amino acid carried by tRNA with the UAC anticodon. For example, this is methionine amino acid carried tRNA with UAC anticodon. So, the tRNA carries the methionine amino acid by anticodon UAC, binds to initiator codon AUG. Initiator codon AUG by its anticodon UAC. Be remember, and codes the methionine amino acid. So, methionine amino acid, coding of methionine amino acid, finish. Because AUG codon binds to UAC anticodon and finish the coding of AUG with the UAC anticodon by methionine amino acid. Means to finish the coding of methionine amino acid. And at the same time, we remember the larger subunit of ribosome present in the cytoplasm of cell. Listen here. The larger subunit of ribosome present in the cytoplasm of cell move to the smaller subunit. And fuse itself to form unfunctional ribosome. See, the larger subunit after coding of methionine amino acid to the initiator codon by anticodon UAC, the larger subunit fused with the smaller subunit to form unfunctional ribosome. That is 70S type of ribosome in prokaryotes, so 80S type of ribosome in eukaryotes. Yeah, the larger subunit of ribosome contain 3 sites. Important, never in the smaller subunit. The larger subunit of ribosome containing 3 sites like A site, P site and E site. A site, P site and E site. A site, amino acyl site. It acts as indoor for entry of other tRNAs with amino acid. That is second tRNA, third tRNA, fourth tRNA with respect to amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site. So it acts as indoor. P site, peptidyl site. In this site, important, peptide bond is formed. Peptide bond is formed between A site of first amino acid, P site of first amino acid and A site of second amino acid. Peptide bond. That's why this P site is expansion as peptidyl site. And E site, exit site, EXIT, exit site means acts as outdoor. That is, after coding of amino acid by tRNA, the tRNA becomes empty. tRNA becomes empty. Empty tRNA enters into the cytoplasm from the ribosome through E site, through outdoor and soluble in the cytoplasm of cell. That's why tRNA is also called soluble RNA, soluble RNA. So, after complete functioning of tRNA, that is coding of amino acid, the empty tRNA, ಖಾಲಿಯಾಗಿರೋ tRNA ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ಗೆ, ರೈಬೋಸೋಮ್ ದ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ಗೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಔಟ್ಸೈಡ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟು ದ ಸೈಟೋಪ್ಲಾಸಮ್ through exit site and soluble in cytoplasm of cell. That is the function of E site. Exit site acts as outdoor. We remember this entire procedure concluded as initiates the formation of polypeptide chain, starts the formation of polypeptide chain by methionine amino acid coded by initiator codon. That's why the step name is called chain initiation. Remember? So, in the step chain initiation, after transcription, first point, after transcription of mRNA, it will move from nucleus to cytoplasm and binds to the smaller subunit of ribosome at the 5' end. Second point, the chain initiation takes place. That is the formation of a polypeptide chain initiated by initiator codon AUG. It codes the methionine amino acid carried by first tRNA and binds to initiator codon AUG by its anticodon UAC. Now, the larger next point, the larger subunit of ribosome move to the smaller subunit and fuse itself in presence of important Mg2 plus ions, magnesium ions to form unfunctional ribosome. Yeah, the larger subunit of ribosome containing 3 sites, that is A site, amino acyl site, P site, peptidyl site and E site. Excite site is the procedure for chain initiation. The next third step is the chain elongation. Chain elongation. Do you remember? In this point, there is here. In the chain elongation step, very, very important, most important explanation, we remember this point. The second tRNA with the second amino acid, say, methionine amino acid is the first amino acid carried by first tRNA complex fixed in the P site. And here A site becomes vacant. A site to khali A site becomes vacant. Now, in the step of chain elongation, the second tRNA with the second amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site. Listen here. Second tRNA with the second amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site and binds to the codon of mRNA by its anticodon. Where is in here? In the chain elongation step, the second amino acid with the second tRNA enters into the ribosome through A site and binds to the codon of mRNA by its anticodon. And peptide bond is formed between, very important, they remember this point. Peptide bond is formed between first amino acid of P site and second amino acid of A site in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme. One more question, important. Name the enzyme required for formation of peptide bond in between amino acids. Answer is the peptidyl transferase enzyme. So, the second tRNA with the second amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site because A site functions as Indo and binds to the codon by its anticodon. And the peptide bond is formed between first amino acid of P site because the first amino acid, that is methionine amino acid, fixed in the P site by its anticodon UAC to the codon, initiator codon AUG. So yeah, first amino acid present at the P site and second amino acid with second tRNA present at the A site. So A site first amino acid and P site first amino acid, A site second amino acid. In between them, peptide bond is established. Peptide bond is formed in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme. Peptidyl transferase enzyme, very important, synthesized by, functioned by rRNA, ribosomal RNA present inside the ribosome. That's why already I have told to you, I have spoken to you in the types of RNA, especially in the rRNA present in the inside the ribosome, functioned as catalyst, acts as enzyme, functioned as catalyst. Such a catalytic property of rRNA is called ribozyme. Very important. In bacterial cell, in prokaryotic cell, 23 srRNA functioned as ribozyme. We remember this statement. In prokaryotic cell, in bacterial cell, 23 srRNA functioned as ribozyme or catalyst. So anyhow, rRNA functioned as catalyst for secretion of peptidyl transferase enzyme. It helps in formation of peptide bond in between first amino acid of the P site and second amino acid of the A site. Now, very important, the ribosome, never ribozyme, ribosome shifted to next to codon. Here, ribosome shifted to next to codon. Next to codon is shift item called ribosome. Next to codon. At the same time, the second tRNA shifting from A site to P site, and A site becomes vacant. For example, see, this is zoomed portion of ribosome. Enlarged diagram of ribosome. Smaller subunit, larger subunit. This is mRNA, and here the initiator codon AUG, first amino acid, methionine amino acid, UAC anticodon. And second tRNA with the second amino acid binds to the second triplet codon. For example, UUU, second triplet codon. AAA is the anticodon which carries the phenyl alanine amino acid present at the A site. First amino acid P site. So in between first amino acid of P site, second amino acid of A site, peptide bond is formed with help of peptidyl transferase enzyme. And to finish the coding of second amino acid by second tRNA. Now the ribosome shift to means move to next codon, third codon. So whenever ribosome shift to third codon, move to third codon, important, the second tRNA shifting from A site to P site. See, AUG codon, UUU codon, CCC third codon. So, whenever ribosome move to the third codon, second tRNA A site to P site. Here, P site. In the P site is the second amino acid, tRNA. AAA anticodon. What happens to the third tRNA? See, the third tRNA becomes, the first tRNA, what happens? First tRNA becomes empty, means its work will be finished. First tRNA function will be finished. Completely coded the first amino acid, that is methionine amino acid, and finishing the peptide bond formation. Now, the first tRNA, empty tRNA, first tRNA move to the cytoplasm through E site and soluble in the cytoplasm of cell. Soluble in the cytoplasm of cell. And second tRNA fixed at the P site of the ribosome. And what happens to A site? A site becomes vacant. A site becomes empty. A site becomes vacant. Now, the third tRNA with the third amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site. Be remember, whenever A site becomes vacant, the third tRNA with the third amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site. Third amino acid enters into ribosome through A site and binds to codon by its anticodon. Now, peptide bond is formed between second amino acid of P site to third amino acid of A site in presence of same peptidyl transferase enzyme. Peptidyl transferase enzyme. And ribosome shifting to fourth codon, next codon. Be remember, after coding of third amino acid to the third codon on mRNA, ribosome move to the next codon, and at the same time third tRNA shifting from A site to P site, and A site becomes vacant. Listen here, A site becomes vacant. A site becomes vacant. Whenever A site becomes vacant, the fourth tRNA carried the fourth amino acid and enters into the ribosome through A site, binds to the codon of mRNA by its side anticodon. And at the same time, peptide bond is formed between third amino acid of P site and fourth amino acid of A site in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme. So, in this manner, we remember this point, ribosome move over on the mRNA, shifted on mRNA. Important. Here, continuously, the codons are availability to A site. And at the same time, increase the length of the polypeptide chain, elongates the length of the polypeptide chain. Very, very important. The ribosome move over on the mRNA, codons continuously availability to A site, and at the same time the amino acids carried by respective tRNAs into the ribosome. Peptide bond formed between successive amino acids in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme increase the length of the polypeptide chain protein molecule. That's why the step name is chain elongation. Elongation of a polypeptide chain. Do you remember this point? See, I can repeat once again. In chain elongation process, the first point, the second tRNA with the second amino acid enters into the ribosome through A site, binds to codon by its anticodon, and peptide bond formed between first amino acid of P site and second amino acid of A site. Now, the ribosome shifting to the next codon on the mRNA, in which the second tRNA shifting from A site to P site, and A site becomes vacant. Now, the third tRNA with third amino acid enters into the ribosome, binds to the mRNA, and peptide bond formed between second amino acid of P site to third amino acid of A site in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme. Again, the ribosome shifting to next codon and tRNA shifting from A site to P site, A site becomes vacant. So, again and again, ribosome move over on the mRNA. A site becomes continuously vacant, and tRNA with amino acid enters into the A site of ribosome successively. Peptide bond formed between amino acids in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme increase the length of the polypeptide chain, elongates the length of the polypeptide chain. That is the procedure for chain elongation. Important here, the chain elongation takes place in presence of elongation factors like EF, TU, EF, TS, and EFG in prokaryotes. Do you remember? In prokaryotic cell, chain elongation takes place in presence of EFTU factor, EFTSO, and EFG factors in prokaryotic cell. Whereas in eukaryotic cell, chain elongation takes place. Small e, capital E, FO, EE, FO, 1. Do you remember this statement? In eukaryotic cell, elongation factor is small e, capital E, F1, capital F1, elongation factor 1. While in prokaryotic cell, elongation factors are important for Newton's 8 information, EFTU, EFTSO, EFG, along with the energy in the form of GTP. Never ATP or never AMP, never GDP, only GTP is the required energy for elongation of polypeptide chain. That is the procedure of chain elongation. So, in the chain elongation step, first point is the second tRNA with the second amino acid, first point, enters into the ribosome through A site, and peptide bond formed between first amino acid of P site, second amino acid of A site in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme. Now, the ribosome shifting to next codon, and at the same time, second tRNA shifting from A site to P site, and A site becomes vacant. First point. The second point, the third tRNA with third amino acid enters into the A site, and coded to the codon of mRNA. Now, peptide bond formed between second amino acid of P site and third amino acid of A site in presence of peptidyl transferase enzyme, and ribosome shifting to next codon. and at the same time the second or third tRNA shifting from A site to B site. So in this manner, last point of, in this manner the ribosome move over on the mRNA, from 5' to 3' direction, 5' to 3' direction. Continuously the codons availability to the A site and increase the length of polypeptide chain, increase the length of polypeptide chain. Very important, very important. Here elongation takes place in presence of elongation factors like EFTU, EFTSO, EFG in prokaryotic cell and EEF1 in eukaryotic cell. Important. This explanation, very important, can mobilize the property of genetic code called Camales. Say the chain elongation process or chain elongation step could explain the property of genetic code called genetic code is Camales. See, what is the meaning for property? Genetic code is Camales. That means the code also present on mRNA continuously translated without stop until the ribosome arrival to reaches to terminator codon. Like that, ribosome move over on the mRNA, from one codon to next codon to further codon, again shifting on the surface of mRNA in one codon length continuously until ribosome, A site of ribosome reaches to the terminator codon. The formation of polypeptide chain will continuous without punctuation mark like a comma. Already we have discussed in property of genetic code. That is the brief explanation of procedure of the chain elongation. So the chain elongation occurs continuously whenever the ribosome move over on the mRNA in one codon length until it will arrival to the reaches to the terminator codon in presence of elongation factors in the prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell along with simple energy called GTP. Then next to the chain elongation, you remember the fourth step is chain termination. Chain termination. See here, this is the first diagram, chain initiation. This is the second diagram, chain elongation, and this is the third diagram, chain termination. Listen here. This is mRNA, 5' end and the 3' end. Now, on the mRNA, there are continuous triplet codons. See, last triplet codon is one of the terminator codon. Example UAA. So, in the chain elongation process, the ribosome shifting on the mRNA, move on the mRNA from 5' to 3' direction, 5' to 3' direction, 5' to 3' direction. Finally, listen here. It will enter into arrival to terminator codon. So, this is polypeptide chain. Polypeptide chain present inside the ribosome like this. And increase the length of polypeptide chain in the third step of chain elongation step. In presence of peptide transferase enzyme. So here, one triplet codon equals to one amino acid. Including initiator codon, one codon equals to one amino acid. Means a group of 3 nitrogen bases are triplet codon equals to one amino acid. One amino acid. Important. So, number of triplet codons. Number of triplet codons present on the mRNA except terminator codon equals to number of amino acids in the polypeptide chain in the protein molecule. So, as when as the ribosome move over on the mRNA, complete and finally arrival to reach to the terminator codon to undergo chain termination. In this step, in the chain termination step, the codons present in mRNA completely translated into polypeptide chain until the ribosome reach to the terminator codon. Terminator codon. Whenever ribosome reach to the terminator codon, like UAA or UAG or UGA. We remember, whenever ribosome reach to any one of the terminator codon at the A site, very important, like UAA or UAG or UGA. Listen here, to undergo elongation of chain termination. Listen here, to undergo chain termination, to stop the elongation of polypeptide chain, to stop the protein synthesis. That's all. You remember, if the ribosome reach to the terminator codon, any one of the terminator codon at A site, to stop to terminate the chain elongation, formation of polypeptide chain. Important? Now, very important, the polypeptide chain detached from ribosome, separating from the ribosome. Listen here, the polypeptide chain, the protein molecule detached from the ribosome. For example, this is polypeptide chain separated from the ribosome and enters into the cytoplasm of cell, functioned as a respective protein, either primary protein or secondary protein or tertiary protein or quaternary protein based on their structural significant role. So, after chain termination, the polypeptide chain separated, detached from ribosome, enters into the cytoplasm into respective protein. Important, at the same time, the smaller subunit and the larger subunit of the ribosome separated to each other. The smaller subunit, larger subunit of the ribosome separated to each other and mRNA degradable, nothing but dissociated, never existed as it is, never existed in the same condition, dissociated, degraded into respective mRNA nucleotides. Andre protein synthesis complete ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ರೈಬೋಸೋಮ್ ಫಂಕ್ಷನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಲ್ಲ, ಸ್ಮಾಲರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಲಾರ್ಜರ್ ಸಬ್ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ಲಸ್ mRNA ಫಾಸ್ಫೋಡೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಬಾಂಡ್ ಬ್ರೇಕ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು mRNA ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಸೆಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಸಿಂಥೆಸಿಸ್, be remember this statement, after protein synthesis ribosome and mRNA never existed as it is. Yeah, the smaller and larger subunit separated and mRNA degraded into respective nucleotides, because in transcription process, first step of protein synthesis, in transcription process, whenever mRNA Believe me, synthesized from transcript from antisense strand of DNA template, RNA polymerase enzyme continuously add the RNA nucleotides as substrates through phosphodiester bond to form mRNA. ಅಂದ್ರೆ RNA ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ mRNA ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ RNA ಪಾಲಿಮರೇಸ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ ಆಂಟಿಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಂಡ್ ಆಪೋಸಿಟ್ ಆಗಿ RNA ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಪಾಲಿಮರೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಟ್ಟು mRNA ಫಾರ್ಮೇಷನ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತಂತ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಪ್ರೋಟೀನ್ ಸಿಂಥಸಿಸ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಆ RNA ಪಾಲಿಮರೇಸ್ ಎನ್ಸೈಮ್ ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ RNA ನ್ಯೂಕ್ಲಿಯೋಟೈಡ್ಸ್ ಒಂದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಫಾಸ್ಫೋಡೈಸ್ಟರ್ ಬಂದು ಡಿಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಆಗೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ mRNA degraded and dissociated into RNA nucleotides in the cytoplasm of cell. And to finish complete the mechanism of chain termination. We remember this statement. So the simple procedure for chain termination is, first point of chain termination is, listen here, the codons, all codons, first point, all codons present in mRNA translated into polypeptide chain to undergo chain termination. When ribosome arrival to reach to terminator codon to stop the elongation of polypeptide chain, formation of polypeptide chain. You remember? Second point is when the ribosome arrival to the terminator codon like UAE or UAG or UGA to undergo chain termination to stop the elongation of polypeptide chain. Next point. The polypeptide chain detached from ribosome to the cytoplasm and functioned as a respective protein. And the smaller and larger subunit of ribosomes are separated and mRNA degraded into RNA nucleotides. That is the simple procedure for chain termination. Very important. So after complete translation, listen here, to synthesize the polypeptide chain to form a protein molecule. That is, see, the codons present in mRNA decoded into polypeptide chain or protein molecule is the definition of translation. The codons present in mRNA are decoded into polypeptide chain or a protein molecule is called translation. Very important for 5 mark question and listen here, definition for 1 mark question, very important. Briefly explain the mechanism of translation or explain the steps involved in translation. Or 1 mark question, what is translation? Or one more 1 mark question, where does translocation located? Inside the cytoplasm of ribosomes. See, these are all the 4 steps of mechanism of translation. Very important. Extra information regarding about translation topic based on neat and seat information. Listen here. In the translation, process of translation, very important. Listen here. The nitrogen bases so present before to initiator coding region and terminator coding region of mRNA. See here, the nitrogen bases so present before to initiator coding region and after terminating coding region never undergo translation. Never undergo translation means never coded the protein, isn't it? Protein molecule or polypeptide chain. Do you remember this statement? That means in eukaryotic mRNA or in prokaryotic mRNA also. See here, in eukaryotic mRNA are the 7 distinct regions. 7 distinct regions that is G cap at the 5' end. Methylated guanosine cap at the 5' end. Already we have discussed in splicing process, capping and the tailing process or in the structure of eukaryotic mRNA. The next one is the non-coding region first. Next one is the initiator coding region. Next one is the coding region. Next one is the terminator coding region. Next one is the non-coding region second. Last one is the polyadenylate diol at the 3' end. Are the 7 parts of eukaryotic mRNA. Whereas in prokaryotic mRNA, 2 parts are absent. First and last parts are absent. Means it has only 5 regions. See, whether in eukaryotic mRNA or in prokaryotic mRNA, before means previous to initiator coding region is the non-coding region. Nothing but the nitrogen bases present in the non-coding region, previous to initiator coding region or after terminator coding region. Present here, nitrogen bases or codons present on mRNA never participate in translation. That is formation of polypeptide chain. Listen here. Such regions are called UTR, untranslated regions. We remember this statement. Say, untranslated regions on mRNA found present previous to initiator coding region or after terminator coding region. Untranslated regions, UTR regions, untranslated regions present previous to initiator coding region and after terminator coding region, because they are never participating translation of polypeptide chain, that is synthesis of protein molecule. Such regions are also called UTR, untranslated regions. Important for CT information. And next point is, next extra information is present here. In the chain initiation process, especially for, see, you won't be confused. Now, present I am telling you only extra information, never for board exams. Second point is, first point to untranslated regions, meaning and their location. Untranslated region meaning the codons of mRNA never participate in polypeptide chain. Translation of polypeptide chain or protein synthesis are called untranslated regions. Their location, where they are present, previous to, before to initiator coding region and after terminator coding region. First point, first extra information. And second extra information is, listen here, in chain initiation process, mRNA moves from nucleus to the cytoplasm and binds to the smaller subunit, never to the larger subunit, or binds to the smaller subunit. Very important. This is because, remember this statement, in prokaryotic cell, mRNA contain ST sequence. ST sequence. Meaning for ST sequence, share Delgarno DEL GARNO Delgarno sequence. We remember, after transcription of mRNA from the template strand of DNA inside the nucleus. See, this is nuclear membrane, double membrane, nuclear membrane with nuclear pores. And this is the transcribed mRNA in presence of RNA polymerase enzyme, RNA polymerase second enzyme, with the help of initiator factor and terminator factor of the RNA polymerase enzyme. Here initiator factor is the sigma factor and terminator factor is the rho factor. So after transcription of mRNA from the template strand of DNA, it will move from nucleus to the cytoplasm and binds to, very important, smaller subunit of ribosome. Why sir? mRNA only binds to smaller subunit and why not to the larger subunit? This is because, we remember, mRNA contained in prokaryotes, prokaryotic mRNA contain ST sequence, Shane-Delacrano sequence, Shane-Delacrano sequence. Your meaning for Shane-Delacrano sequence means the 8 nitrogen bases. Listen here. We remember this point. 8 nitrogen bases present previous to initiator coding region. That is UTR region, untranslated region, present previous to, before to initiator coding region. Listen here. Recognize the smaller subunit of ribosome and at the same time the smaller subunit of ribosome containing anti-Shane-Delacrano sequence. See here, ST sequence, Shane-Delacrano sequence present on the mRNA of prokaryotic cell. ST sequence present on the prokaryotic mRNA and AST, anti-Shane-Delacrano sequence found in, present in smaller subunit of prokaryotic ribosome, only smaller subunit. So here, SD, Shane-Delacrano sequence recognize the anti-Shane-Delacrano sequence. Like that of, see, antigen and antibody interaction, antigen and antibody reaction. For example, see, if the pathogen enters into our body, any pathogen infected to our body, it will secrete antigen, foreign chemical substance antigen. Yeah, entered antigen into our body blood. Listen here, stimulates T cells, T lymphocytes, thymus lymphocytes, that is one type of WBC cells. See here, the stimulated WBC cells activated T cells secrete antibody, synthesize antibody. So yeah, antigen stimulates the secretion of antibody. Now antibody binds to antigen. We remember this point. Antibody binds to antigen and destroys antigen. Thereafter, to provide body immunity against to disease, against to pathogen, because pathogen was destroyed by antibody synthesized by our T lymphocytes. Means if the particular antibody binds to particular antigen or vice versa, specific antibody binds to specific antigen, same as it is. Particular substrate binds to the particular enzyme. Specific enzyme binds to the specific substrate. Same as it is. The ST sequence present in the smaller subunit of ribosomes, right? Present in the prokaryotic mRNA, found in the prokaryotic mRNA, recognize the interact the AST, anti-Shane-Delacrano sequence. That's why soon after transcription, mRNA moves from nucleus to cytoplasm. Recognize the smaller subunit by the help of ST sequence to the AST sequence and bind itself, so that mRNA after transcription enters into the cytoplasm and binds to smaller subunit, never to the larger subunit. Most important for extra information, neat information, where do you find SD sequence on prokaryotic mRNA? Where do you find AST, antisense delechrono sequence in the smaller subunit of prokaryotic ribosome? Prokaryotic ribosome. AST, prokaryotic mRNA, ST. So, the best functional aspect of UTR, untranslated regions of mRNA, prokaryotic mRNA, is recognition of smaller subunit of ribosome for translation. For translation, very important. Whereas in eukaryotic cell, see, in eukaryotic mRNA contain 7mg cap at the 5' chain. Remember, in eukaryotic mRNA, 7-methyl guanosine cap, 7-methyl guanosine cap found at the 5' chain. Important, responsible for recognition of smaller subunit of ribosome. Remember, this is because the anti-7mg cap present in the smaller subunit of eukaryotic ribosome. See, the 7-methyl guanosine cap present at the 5' end of mRNA, eukaryotic mRNA, recognize the smaller subunit of eukaryotic ribosome by the help of anti-7mg cap. Very important. Listen here. So, in the eukaryotic smaller subunit of ribosome has 18S rRNA. Listen here. Very important. The smaller subunit of eukaryotic ribosome contain 18S rRNA contain anti-mg cap. Only 18S rRNA. Smaller ribosomal RNA. Very important for neat information, seat information. So 18S rRNA containing anti-7mg cap. Methylated guanosine cap recognize the 7-methyl guanosine cap of the mRNA, eukaryotic mRNA. As a result, the mRNA binds to smaller subunit of eukaryotic ribosome. While in prokaryotic cell, in prokaryotic mRNA, listen here, 16S rRNA containing AST, antisense delechrono sequence. 8S RNA containing AST, antisense delechrono sequence. Now, this antisense delechrono sequence reacts with identified with chain delechrono sequence. As a result, mRNA binds to smaller subunit. So, you must remember one of the most important information: untranslated regions present previous to before to initiator coding region of prokaryotic mRNA is the ST chain delechrono sequence responsible for recognition of smaller subunit containing anti-chain delechrono sequence. And in eukaryotic mRNA, the untranslated regions are 7-methyl guanosine cap present at the 5' end responsible for identification of smaller, recognition of smaller subunit of eukaryotic ribosome by the help of anti-7mg cap present in the 18S rRNA. So, these are all the extra information regarding about mechanism of translation. But this translation indirectly under the control of DNA, under the control of DNA of the genes. But how? All the genes present in the DNA responsible for formation of polypeptide chain, synthesis of protein molecule by the help of gene expression and gene regulation. In next class, I will be continue the gene regulation and gene expression topic.